And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the PondCast. PondCast episode 56. We just wrapped up with all of our major events of the week. We wrapped up with talking about and expressing, EWC, Epic Land, FEL, the return of Ladder Heroes, GSL, Masters of the Game, alongside Zero Space and proposed balance changes. But now we are here with the tournament results of the week. Here we go. There's a lot to get into, a lot to go through, especially because we did miss out on last week's PondCast. We had no time because of EWC, so there are so many results to get into. Let's go. From the top, we have our modded tournaments. From the top, we do have the Patches Patch Clash number 1. Fun fact, number 2 is slated to be this weekend, and we spoke earlier about proposed balance changes. Patches likewise has his own proposed balance changes as well and is running his own tournaments. He's running his own tournaments to get a feel for what is working, for what isn't working, for what to adjust and what to improve. I mentioned before that, of course, players or people can now update and upload mods onto the StarCraft II arcade, and Patches has been doing so to actually run these tournaments. So here we did have quite a wide array of players, mainly from the NA region. We did have Starkiller, we had Juanito, we had Jason, we had Ninja, we had some Europeans as well. We had Jumi, Fianta stepping into the ring, we had Shameless, Quantel, and Hon Mono as well. So really nice spread of players here. Was a double elimination bracket. We had Juanito, we had Special making it through. Again, Special, he was very inactive at the start of the year, but in recent months has returned to the game, even willing to partake and to play in events like this, into a patch tournament. So let's go. Special takes down Jason, takes down Homono, takes down Fiant 2-0, takes down Fiant 3-1 as well. Strong showing there by Special. I will say that a lot of the value here when it comes to this tournament is watching the games themselves to see how the patch does unfold. So the results are a little bit less important, more so what exactly did occur in those matches and how the patches or how the patch balance changes did influence some of these results. Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with the balance patch changes. I know there's a very intense and long list, extensive, that's a better way of putting it. It's a very extensive patch list and patch notes regarding this tournament. And you know what? Maybe next week we'll be going over the nitty-gritty details of what Patches patch includes. Este patch. But congratulations to Special for claiming the win. And again, the next tournament is going to be next week. So do stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, scrolling on over, we do have the Kurtown Chat Brawl. This is a tournament organized and run by Dave Testa. Again, this is an impromptu tournament every now and then. Like every couple of weeks, Dave, he does host this event. It's very random, very impromptu. But congratulations to Percival. He takes down Greener, takes down Special. Special once again playing another tournament. Again, Special has been very, very active in these tournaments, and Percival does claim it. Again, it's very impromptu, a bit of a lower sign-up list for this event just because of how last minute these usually are. It's typically whoever's around at the time, bam, you get to play in the tournament. So congratulations to Percival for claiming the win at 3-2 over Special. Did go all the way to the ace match.
So this one was also played on the Patches mod.
Oh, there you go. Also played on the Patches patch mod patch. There you go. So really cool to see them testing that out. So that leads us into the StarCraft Evolution, the SEL Season 2 Last Chance Qualifier number 1. We, of course, did cover this on our own channel here. Basically, the StarCraft Evolution League Championship is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. The season is concluding, and we are still determining the final players to make it through into the main event. Here for this tournament, we had, once again, the return of Tasia. Again, Tasia, for those who are unaware, he did return to the game a couple of months ago. Not to StarCraft 2. Tasia, he did not return to StarCraft 2. He returned to StarCraft Evolution, which is a mod that brings together StarCraft 2 versus Brood War. It's a lot of fun. As a mod, we do cover it on a regular basis here on the CranKy Ducklings, and it's a nice breath of fresh air compared to regular SC2. And again, it's been great to see the return of Tasia. Tasia claiming his first win, by the way. Tasia, even in his return, he hasn't actually won one of these tournaments until now. He 2-0s Geralt, he 2-1s Dice, 3-0s Rebellion, and 3-2s Rumiath. Big win here for Tasia. He's back. The return of Tasia. You do love to see it here, so congratulations, Tasia. He does claim the win. That leads us into the StarCraft Evolution League Last Chance Qualifier number 2. Again, this is the final qualifier here for the StarCraft Evolution League. We did have, once again, returning players here. We actually had, it's been a while, Homono Homeowner, he's been on a break. He's been on a hiatus ever since DreamHack Dallas. Like, Homeowner, he hasn't really played in much, but here he signs up. We have Homeowner, he does take down that Dash, he does advance onto semis to face up against Mang Russell. Mang Russell pops off for the first time. GG Machine. Interesting. A lot of the CIS players have been playing StarCraft Evolution, referring to Young Yakov, referring to Wayne, referring to Bratok as well, referring to Mindo VK. But I don't think I've seen GG Machine in a bracket like this before, so really cool to see. I mean, again, I don't think he was even born when when Brood War came out. Like, 100% he was not born. So I always find it funny whenever we see some of these younger players take part. So GG Machine, he does step into the ring, he does play, he does do quite well. Takes down Dice, takes down Mixu 3-1, does fall to Mang Russell in the finals, but I feel like that's partly because of inexperience. Again, GG Machine, he hasn't really played too much in the StarCraft Evolution League at all, so really cool to see him competing, taking part. It does go down to Mang Russell, but hey, puts up a good fight nonetheless. GG. And congratulations to Mang Russell for claiming the win and for claiming this StarCraft Evolution, the qualifier, claiming the qualifier. Meanwhile, this leads us into the King of the Hill. Again, a lot of these King of the Hills and were really testing PTR changes for StarCraft Evolution. So testing was involved, and a lot of this was for just testing purposes more than anything. We did this is a best of one style format, of course. King of the Hill. We had Homeowner. Homeowner takes the first win over Zardi, and Patches takes down Homeowner. That's a crazy win for Patches, by the way. The hell? Patches, calm down. Not just hosting his own tournaments, not just making his own patch, but also taking down Homeowner. Crazy win there for Patches. Meanwhile, Tasia, he has been playing Protoss. I believe Tasia, he plays SE2 Terran, but he plays Brood War Protoss. Bear that in mind. So Tasia, he has, I mean, a lot of the Terrans, Tasia and the SCC. The SCC has also been playing Protoss as well. So Tasia playing Protoss, takes down Patches, takes down Magic Turtle, takes down Brome, and takes down Dice as well. Crazy win streak there for Tasia. Really cool to see him showcasing his own Brood War Protoss skills. But eventually he does fall to Rumiath, which he trades with Magic Turtle. You can see Magic Turtle was actually switching races. I believe the players were incentivized to switch races just so that, again, they can test out certain changes and test out whether something works, whether something doesn't, just for the PTR, just for the proposed balance changes for StarCraft Evolution League. Or StarCraft Evolution. So Magic Turtle takes down Rumiath, and then we have 3-point playing Terran. 3-point takes down Magic Turtle. As there's so much off racing happening here. It's crazy. So much off racing. 3-point takes down Prome. Tasia takes down 3-point with Zerg. Hey, you can see here Tasia also playing Zerg against 3 points Protoss. So again, just a lot of race switching, a lot of testing occurring. Rumiath takes down Tasia. Prome takes down Rumiath. Magic Turtle takes down Prome, and Magic Turtle takes down the SSC at the end. So again, it's a lot of this tournament. It's hard to really determine who was the strongest player here. And again, players that was just switching hands, and the crown was switching heads so often throughout this event. And again, a lot of the race switching is because they did want to test out certain matchups. So it was a bit of a quirkier King of the Hill here. But in the end, congratulations to Tasia as he walks away with the most amount of wins. Does walk away with the biggest win streak. So congratulations. Well done. Well done, and I hope that the games were insightful as to the proposed changes. That leads us into our next tournament, that leads into the StarCraft Evolution League King of the Hill number 9, which likewise also was taking part on said PTR and said proposed changes. Likewise, we can see Magic Turtle, switching races here. He does play Terran, takes the win over Rebellion, takes the win over Quanto. Gee, Magic Turtle going on hold on. I just realized what just happened. Magic Turtle, while switching races, he wins every single game. Takes down Rebellion, Quantel, Prome, Tasia, Homeowner, Patches, 3-point Rumiath, Prome, Tasia, Homeowner, your face, and 3-point as well. Some of these players were switching races, but Tasia, he was playing nothing but Terran. Tasia played nothing but Terran. 3-point did mix it up. Likewise, Homeowner playing only his main race as well. So this is a very solid win streak here from Magic Turtle. Very impressive. I believe this was testing out, yes, the patch, but also testing out the new map pool. I don't know if you noticed here, but looking at the map pool, you can see they were playing on Subsequence, Earth Drinker as well, Ultra, Compactor. Basically, these are all new maps. I believe these are going to be the proposed new map pool for the new season, for either the championship or the new season of SEL. So that was also, Again, that's what these King of the Hills have been used for, at least these past two, for testing purposes. Testing the patch, the PTR, and also testing these new maps as well. Anthea, Dulcimer, Earth Drinker, Eris, Keras Passage, Keon, Subsequence, and Ultra Compactor as well. So a fresh map pool that they were testing on, and Magic Turtle just went ham. He just went to town. Oh my god. And again, it's impressive because Magic Turtle, I would say he's not even the strongest player out there here. Like, I favor 3-point if he played Zerg. He didn't play Zerg, by the way, so 3-point hindering himself there. But I think I even rate Tage a little bit higher, and even Honmono, and even Prone. But yeah, Magic Turtle popping off. Crazy win. Crazy wins GG well played. And again, I hope that they did enjoy their time on the new maps. We haven't seen them ourselves, unfortunately. Again, we were just so busy with EWC, with Esports World Cup, with Home Story Cup, with DreamHack Dallas. Again, we mentioned before just how intense this period in time has been for StarCraft tournaments, that StarCraft Evolution did kind of fall by the wayside a little bit for us. But we should be getting back into it for the championship. At least here on the CranKy Ducklings. As that leads us into our amateur events and into our MMR restricted tournaments as well. First thing is first, we have the Amateur League Weekly Tournament number 132. We have our initiate weekly here for those between the leagues of Bronze and Platinum. Oh boy, here we had Ragnar, let's go. Ragnar, he does go down in the upper bracket finals, but he does get his revenge, takes down DJ in the lower bracket finals, and he gets his revenge over Bendito as well. 3-1, Ragnar is going to be the week number 132 champion. Congratulations to Ragnar. Shout out to all the other competitors as well. Again, for those between the leagues of Bronze and Platinum, that leads us into the Veteran Edition for Diamond 3 and Diamond 2. We did have Split. Oh, a newer face that I'm not familiar with. Split, he takes down Sugar Colts, he takes down Tal'Darim, takes down Colt Classic, but he actually falls in the rematch. Tal'Darim, he comes back from the brink, does work his way through the lower bracket. He does take down Split 3-0 in the finals. GG, well played. So congratulations there to our competitors. Likewise, that leads us into Prestige. Prestige is for Diamond 1 to Masters 2. So again, these are all MMR restricted. Here in the Prestige events, we are used to seeing Dizzy Dwarf and Dizzy Dwarf as well as Beast. They're typically the two regulars here. Dizzy Dwarf, he's here once again. He does fall to Arez in the upper bracket finals though. And Dizzy Dwarf, he does meet his end at the head of Matrix. Matrix, the Polish Protoss, he takes down Dizzy Dwarf, and he actually takes the win in the end, gets his revenge over Arez. The comeback, very impressive. 3-2 went all the way to the ace match, but congratulations to Matrix or to Matrix for that 3-2 win. Congratulations. That leads us into the Elite Tournament. Unfortunately, the Elite version here is less popular. This is for GMs. This is for pro players. But as a reminder, I should have started with this. These Amateur League Weeklies don't have any prize money. They only have points leading into an end-of-season tournament, which does have prize money. So you have to commit quite heavily to these weeklies to be able to make it into the money, into those big like seasonal events. So there's a little bit less incentive for some of these pro players that could be spending their time playing in a weekly that does actually provide some prize money. So it's a little bit less popular. Here we had Ledlix. Ledlix takes down Cobblestone 1-0. Actually looks like a walkover. So, so we spoke about it, how there's just a little bit less popularity here for when it comes to the pro weeklies. But Ledlix does get the walkover win. That leads us into the Amateur League Weekly number 133. That is this week's weekly, of course. And for the beginning, we have the Bronze to the Platinum edition. Ragnar once again, back to back. This time, we had more of a back and forth in the finals. 3-2 went all the way to the ace match, but yeah, a bit of deja vu here. Ragnar, he got knocked down in the upper bracket finals, and then he got his revenge in the grand finals. So really impressive win there. Back-to-back champion. Ragnar does claim it. That leads us into the Veteran Edition, Diamond 3 to Diamond 2. Here we have there's Tal'Darim. Tal'Darim also makes a deep run here, making it all the way to the finals, but only to the finals this time. Instead, we have Lauren. Lauren, the Terran player, does actually claim the win over Tal'Darim initially, and then over Tal'Darim in the finals as well. So congratulations to Lauren for claiming the win, for being this week's champion. Leads into the Prestige Edition. That is, again, Diamond 1 to Masters 2. Here we had actually, instead of Dizzy Dwarf, we had Beast. So again, the previous week we had Dizzy Dwarf but no Beast. Here we have Beast but no Dizzy Dwarf. We have Anatar. Anatar does take the 2-0 over Beast, does take down Steez 2-1, and wins in the finals 3-0. Big win here for Anatar. I don't think he's won that many of these weeklies. Again, typically we see some of these other regular competitors go for deeper and stronger performances. So congratulations here to Anatar for claiming the win. That leads us into the Pro Edition, the GM Edition, and once again, walkover. Azura. Shout out to last week, it was Ledlix. This week, Azura does get the walkover win in the finals, or in the tournament. So again, it is a little bit unfortunate, but again, that's just the pro players are a little bit less interested in competing in this. But as you can see, the amateur players, whether you're in Bronze all the way up to Masters 2, like those weeklies are thriving. They are thriving. There's a lot of competition, a lot of regulars, and newer faces as well. So, hey, if you're out there, if you happen to be between the leagues of Bronze and Masters 2, then do recommend checking this out. Or even if you're a Masters 1 and GM, hey, yeah, you can get some free wins. You can sign up and actually start populating these brackets and take part as well. Can take part. But otherwise, that leads us into our weekly tournament, so our monthly tournament, our amateur event, into the Duckling Open number 136. Again, every single month we do host a Duckling Open. We've been running this event for many, many years at this point. It is how we started the CranKy Ducklings, and we still have some newer faces here to our tournament series. But we had some older faces going for some beef runs. We had Battle Pants. Battle Pants takes down Captain Fish, takes down Horus Radish, and does go up against Elaine in the grand finals. Elaine, of course, the Mexican Zerg player, not his first tournament, but actually had a really good performance here, taking down Big Daddy in the finals, went all the way to the A smash. That's what we want out of these finals. We had that back and forth, went all the way to game 5, and Elaine claimed the win. GG, well played. Always do love it when we have that intensity in those finals, and even in some of the semis as well. As I believe the American Protoss Big Daddy was the previous champion. No, sorry, he was the previous finalist, previous second place. So GG well played. Congratulations to Elaine. That leads us into the MSO, the Masters 1 Open number 94. That leads us into our next tournament. I should reiterate, Duckling Open was for Bronze to Diamond. This is for Bronze to Masters, to Masters 2, to 4.7k MMR. Here we had Distan. Distan, he has competed in these in the past, and hey, we did notice Distan from the bracket in the Epic Land tournament, if you recall, and this was a little bit more one-sided here. I say a little bit because the semis still went to the ace match. Distan and Roselia, they went all the way to the ace match. And Natar, hey, we saw Natar earlier claiming the win in the Amateur League Weekly. Here takes down KOTH Phoenix 2-1, so we had some nice close semifinals between our players, but the grand finals was more one-sided. Here, Distan did take down Natar 3-0.
I do want to give a quick shout out to KOTH Phoenix, because I'm pretty sure when he started playing in our tournaments, that was a few months ago, but when he started playing in our tournaments, he was like Platinum, I think? But he's starting to take names. He's getting there.
Say a few months. I think KOTH Phoenix started playing last year, maybe longer than that. It's been a long time. It's been around for a long time.
Look, I'm just appreciating the improvement over time. He's actually getting to semifinals now of the Masters one, you know, of the lower Master players. So that's pretty good. Yeah,
for sure. He has risen through the ranks quite steadily here over time. It's really cool to see the growth of KOTH Phoenix. I agree. Like, this is the surprising result. Took down Elaine, took down Blazer, and went to the ace match against Anatar as well. GG well played. Congratulations to Distan. Shout out to all the competitors here for this monthly tournament. And again, if you're out there, if you're an amateur player, whether you're a diamond or below, or even here like 4.7k and below, then we have tournaments for you. We have our monthly SDO and MSO as well, so you can take part. Meanwhile, that leads us into the chat Star League number 39, which is still going to be on go, which the challenge has been updated, but not the Wikipedia page. So hey, if anyone wants some free points, then hey, you can update the Wikipedia bracket. Just saying. But shout out to Cobblestone. Cobblestone does take down Marek 3-1, does take down Toster 3-1 in the finals as well. Mini Zerg does claim third place. So congratulations to Cobblestone for being our champion, to Toster for coming second, and Mini Zerg for coming in third. Again, this is an amateur tournament. I say amateur tournament. It is for those between the MR ranges of 5.3k and below. So that is around low GM. Low GM and below are eligible to compete, and we did have Cobblestone as the champion. That leads us into the Yamato Cup #1, a new tournament series. I say series because this was #1. Shout out to Killer B Cast. Killer B, I believe, is a Polish caster. Has been running some of these, has been casting a little bit more in recent times, and now running his own tournament. This was the very first edition, the first of many, as this is a tournament for those between the leagues of 5K and below MMR. So again, around low GM, high masters, and below. So we had some regulars here, actually. I see Beast, I see Baum as well. He used to compete in our tournaments until he got too good. Like, he eventually got too good, so he can't play in our tournaments anymore. We had Set, we had Casio as well, Casio. But yeah, we had a good amount of variety here when it comes to competitors, and Baumsum does take the win 3-1 in the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. And again, I hope that Killer B did enjoy himself when it came to this tournament, when it came to this cast, and hope to see more of these events in the future. Hope to see him. Yet it's hard to determine, whether this is going to be like a monthly or a weekly, or how regular this event is going to be. I say that in the challenge, it does say that there are plans to make this a monthly tournament for a monthly series. So hey, best of luck. And hey, if you're out there, if you're 5K or below, then do consider signing up and taking part. GG. GG, well played. That leads us into the Passion Craft Emerging Stars #26. This is a tournament for those that are 5.5K and below, around mid GM, give or take. We do have a plethora of players here. Typically, we see players like an Inexorable facing off and thriving in these tournaments. But here I see a player that I'm not familiar with. Kinpatch, a random player, apparently takes down Lulis, takes down Nihed, takes down Gref. These are some big results, by the way. Like, I rate Gref, Meowradoom, Nihed, Lulis quite highly. So for Kinpatch to come in and to take the win here, impressive. Really impressive play. Congratulations to Kinpatch, as he doesn't just claim the tournament, but he also qualifies for the OSC Rising Star Tournament. So congratulations, as it does wrap up the Emerging Stars. That leads us into the Zerg Cup 2v2 #2. 2v2 tournaments have been on the rise, thanks to Thermal, thanks to Wardy, thanks to the off-season when team games are being explored a little bit more. We've had an uptick of team game tournaments, including team games from the CIS region as well. Here we did have a lot of our regulars. There were a lot of phases to this tournament. It looks like we had a group bracket, where we had the initial bracket for qualifying players. Here we had Bratok and MinoVK, GG Machine, Shameless, Master, Vasia, and Ilesop, and Replicant and Tiger, all making it through. And in the end, we had a round robin playoffs. What the hell? What is this format? So we had double elimination bracket into a round robin playoff group, where all players played against each other, and in the end, GG Machine and Shameless came out on top. I would say they are the strongest team when it comes to one of the strongest teams when it comes to the CIS region. I say that just because I also rate Night Phoenix and Wayne quite highly, and Milky Cow and Wayne, and Milky Cow and Young Yakov. They all trade back and forth. They all swap back and forth, but they're also a really strong lineup of teams. But regardless, GG Machine and Shameless, they take the win. GG will play. That leads us into Thermal 2v2 Circuit, Warm-Up Cup #4. There have been a plethora of Warm-Up Cups. These are basically tournaments that allow players to compete in 2v2 while getting ready for the grand final, for the main event, for the big circuit. It's going to be taking place next month. So it does allow them to compete, does allow them to warm up, to play. And here we had a lot of our regulars. We had Thermal and Goblin. We had Jumi and Young Yakov. We had... Wait, what? Wait. Hold on. Do you see what I see, Kuro? Lambo and Euthermal, they played in the quarterfinals? Is that a typo? Is that meant to be Lambo and Spirit? It says Lambo and Did someone...
I did not watch, so I cannot tell you, but I could see like Spirit being gone for a game and Euthermal just like replacing him.
Did Euthermal replace him, or is that a typo? Because on Challenge, it's Lambo and Spirit.
I mean, on Challenge you cannot change it, so...
Yeah. The hell? that might be a typo, or maybe Euthermal replaced Spirit. And then also played with Goblin.
Yeah. At the same time.
It's possible, meanwhile, we had GG Machine and Shameless. Hey, we mentioned them earlier. Again, they're one of the stronger teams in the CIS region. We had Art and Kinpatch. Hey, that's a return of kin patch. We just saw him win the Rising Star tournament, and now he's here playing with Art. Okay, so he's got some connections. I haven't noticed him before as a player, but he's there. Is there? We have Blatok and Minvk. We got the Mega and Bombilla as well. We had Laser and Showtime. So some really solid lineups here, really solid pairings between all these players. And in the end, we had Jimmy and Young Yakov claiming the win. Big win here for Jimmy and Yakov. Again, they're one of the stronger teams out there. They take down Laser and Showtime 3-2 in the grand finals. Really cool to see them going toe-to-toe. Again, Laser's been playing, Laser has been spending a lot of time playing team games, more so than 1v1, to be honest, and has been excelling quite a lot. Laser and Showtime is a pairing that I haven't seen before. Showtime, for those who are unaware, he is the replacement man. Showtime is a replacement man, and I'm just checking here. This tournament took place yesterday. It's possible that Skillus was traveling, right? Skillus, he might have been making his way home from Poland, because typically it's Team Liquid. It's a Laser and Skillus. Usually they are the duo. Usually they play together. But again, Showtime is a replacement man. Whenever someone doesn't show up, Showtime steps in. Whether he plays with Laser, Lambo, Spirits, he's always there. It feels bad, man. But basically, if there's ever one of these pro players that is missing a partner, then Showtime steps in. So he did replace Skills, and hey, they went far. They went far in this tournament. Really cool to see, but Jimmy and Yako, they claimed the win in the end. Whew. GG, well played. That leads us into the regional show matches. Regionals or show matches, I should emphasize, as up first we do have the Hyper 1 Power Rankings number 4. Oh boy, I feel like this is an event that's been running for quite some time, and
it just finished after like half a year of running.
Let's go. Yo, you thought the OSC Rising Star tournament took years. Nah. You ain't got nothing on the Hyper 1 Power Rankings, as finally we have a champion. It was a crazy format. It took 8 months to conclude. 9 months? Jeez. It took almost a year. To conclude. And in the end, we did have some walkovers. But Homono takes down Gogo Joey 3-1 in the grand finals. I would say Homono was coming in as a heavy favorite, so congratulations. Shout out to Gogo Joey, though, for competing, for taking part, for taking down Michnek, for even taking maps off of Homono as well. GG, well played. Finally, we can conclude this tournament. Lasted far too long. GG, well played. That leads us into the beginning of the new circuit of the Brazilian scene. El Circuito Brasileiro, of course, did conclude last month with that big offline event in Sao Paulo, but now the new circuit has begun. We have Amantes de StarCraft number 39, and we did have a lot of our regulars. We had Master, we had Inexorable, we had Allison, we had Kamikaze, we had Tata Giba, we had Yan Shi as well, and Shakti alongside them. So a hefty lineup of players coming into this irate Master, Inexorable, and Shakti very highly. And hey, they were the top three. In the end. Master takes down Inexorable 3-1 and takes down Inexorable in the finals 4-1 as well. Again, Master, he is the best Protoss player in all of Brazil, which is why it was crazy that he was not a part of the offline finals in Sao Paulo. It was a crazy upset from Kamikaze. And here you can see Master venting his frustrations. He's like, I should have been there. I should have been at the event. Feels bad, man. feels terrible, man. For those that remember, Kamikaze cheesed Master out of the tournament in a very short series. And fun fact, Kamikaze actually was asking Inexorable for builds. He was asking him for builds for that series. And Inexorable, he gave him some mean builds because he didn't think it was going to work, and it did. Like Kamikaze, for those that don't remember, he one-base all-in the hell out of Master. Just pure one-base all-ins 2 games in a row. They cheesed Master out of the tournament. Here you can see Master venting those frustrations, claims the win 3-1 and 4-1. GG, well played. Master does claim the win for this month's Amantes de StarCraft. Meanwhile, heading on over, we have the Legacy Weekly Japan. Here we have seen the rise of Tapioca. Tapioca has been looking really strong in these Japanese tournaments. Boba, if you will. But I don't see Tapioca here. Tapioca, unless he's name changed on Challenge. Tapioca's name on Challenge was Japanese letters, which translated to Tapioca, but it's possible that he did name change, as we have a player that I've never seen before, Shirayuki, going all the way to the finals over Taquan. over Vaishravanya as well. Meanwhile, Deadly Kitten takes down Sayark and wins the entire tournament. Big win. GG. GG will play. Shout out to Deadly Kitten for claiming the win. That leads us into our next tournament. That leads us into the Prospect Edition of Legacy Weekly Japan, where we had Sayark. Sayark takes down Nodokon, takes down Hidekui as well in the finals 2-0. Big win here for Sayark. Congratulations. And I didn't see Tapioca in either bracket. So, yeah, either Tapioca wasn't competing in these 2 weeks or has name changed. Hopefully, we find out soon. We'll look into it. We'll look into it. That leads us into the Sunrise Cup 209. This is our weekly tournament from the land of China, weekly Chinese tournaments. Meanwhile, we do have our Zerg players. This Silky. Hold on. I know that Silky has name changed in these tournaments. Oh, no, it's Tsukino. So we have Tsukino taking the win at 3-0 over Jolly Will Loves. That's a big win, by the way. It's a big win for our Zerg player. Just double checking. Yeah, so yeah, Tsukino. Okay, so it does claim the win. I mean, that's a surprising result, by the way. I don't typically expect. I do favor Jollywa. I favor Jollywa 100% that series. So for Tsukino to take the win there is very impressive. So GG will play. Does take the win 3-0. Does become this week's Sunrise Cup champion. That leads us into the SE2 Friends Cup at 2025 July. I have no idea what this is, but it looks like another Chinese tournament. Looks like a monthly tournament. Has this been running for quite some time? Hard to say. But regardless, hey, speaking of Jollywa, there he is. I mean, I was favoring Jollywa Loves in the previous tournament. Didn't take the win there, but here he comes, coming out swinging. What am I looking at? Kuppa. See the 9-2 in favor of Ear in the semis? I think that I think that's going to be a 2-0 in favor of Jollywa, by the way. I think someone inputted that number wrong.
It could be, or the friends just play the best of 11.
I think that's meant to be a 0. I'll be. we need someone to fix that up. But yeah, I believe Jollywa Loves did 2-0 Ear there. Just because 0 is right next to 9 on the keyboard. In my mind, that makes sense. That was just a wrong input. But regardless, does claim that series and does take down Mickey in the finals 4-1 in the best of 7. So GG well played. With that, Jollywa does claim the win here. That leads us into the Bastards Big Brain Bouts, number 99. Oh boy, number 99, where we do have our set of show matches here. Interesting lineups. We had a Ukrainian PvP with Captain Alex up against Zodovlad, in one of the initial matches. We had Sebesis versus Special in a PvT. We had Hearthstone versus Young Yakov in a PvZ. And we had Uwu Thermal versus G Machine in a TVZ as well. Now, do I notice a trend here? I do. I see the theme immediately. This is it looks like, so typically for Basilisk, for the Big Brain Bouts, not always, but typically they do have like a theme that does kind of tie everything together here, and like an overarching kind of theme of the week of the tournament. And this looks like the Boomers versus the Gen Zs. No. The Boomers versus Zoomers here, as I'm pretty sure we have a big age gap between Uthermal G Machine, Sebastian Special, and Harsam Young Yakov. Like, I'm talking like 15 plus years. That's we got all the young boys up against the old men, and we had some varying results. Now, I can't say that for the Ukrainian PvP just because I don't know the age of the players, but it does look like that was the theme here. In the end, Sebesis, the young blood himself, takes down Special 3-1, showing off the power of the Zoomer. But Hearthstone fights back. He avenges the old man Special, and Hearthstone does get the 3-0 over Young Yakov. Maybe too young. This Hearthstone does claim the win. And in the end, for the final Boomer Bash, we had Uwu Thermal takes down GG Machine 3-1, showing that experience and of course the many years behind Uthermal do pay off. They do pay off in the end. It takes him down 3-1. GG well played. Impressive result there by Uthermal, and GG Machine got some growing up to do. And of course, I don't want to gloss over it, but Soda also takes down Captain Alex 3-1 as well. So again, in the end, it looks like the Boomers did win. We had Harsum and Euthermal taking the win. Meanwhile, Sebestis, he was able to claim his win. Again, I'm uncertain as to who was the older and who was the younger player for the Ukrainian PvP, but regardless, GG well played. The old men, they still got it. They still got it. Let's go. Let us go. As that leads us wraps up our initial modded tournaments, our initial regional tournaments as well. And we are once again going to be going on a very short break. And bam, when we come back, we'll have the OSC tournaments and the Open Cups as well. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, I hope you enjoyed that lovely, brutal OSC as we return. We return with the remainder of the podcast. Again, there's just been a lot to get through, a lot to go over when it comes to tournament results and when it comes to our weekly news as well. And we return with our OSC tournaments with the OSC Elite Rising Star number 15. Here we go. We have our champion. Let's go. Finally, the OSC Elite Rising. Hey, we just spoke. Maybe it was a sign. The Hyper 1 tournament that took 8 months or 9 months to conclude finally ended. And just like that, OSC Elite Rising Star number 15 also comes to an end as well. After months of competing, after months of back and forth, we had a Jimmy took down Milky Cow 3-2 in the grand finals and went up against Nickrat. Sorry, 3-2 in the upper bracket finals, went up against Nickrat in the grand finals as well. Nickrat took down Percival, took down Milky Cow, got his revenge over the Milky Cow as well. Impressive performance there by Nickrat. End of the Nickrat. He's been putting himself down as Milky and stating that Milky Cow is the best Terran player in the region, but no, Nickrat, he's got his own TVT prowess, takes down Milky Cow, goes up against Jimmy in the finals, and we go all the way to the ace match. Was an intense back and forth. In the end, Jimmy does claim the win. In the end, Jimmy does claim the win. 3-2 is going to be this season's OSC Elite Rising Star champion. GG, well played. Again, this event is for Rising Stars. It's for the up-and-comers, and Jimmy does claim, and I would agree, he is a Rising Star. He is a Rising Star. He does claim the win. Congratulations. A shout out to all the competitors. A shout out to everyone, actually. If you look at Jimmy's run, none of it was easy. Night Phoenix forced the ace match. Percival went to the ace match. Milky Cow and Nickrat as well. Non-stop ace matches there from Jimmy, so it was not an easy road, but he did walk it, and he does come out on top. GG. GG, well played. Likewise, this also comes with an announcement. It looks like Just Jordan, an old school caster that recently came back to cover the OSC Elite Rising Star, is going to be concluding his run casting. He does take a step back, take a step away, of course. He's been covering StarCraft for many years, and looks like he'll be taking a break or even bidding goodbye to covering these tournaments, to casting, as he was covering all of the OSC Elite Rising Star, but no longer. And fun fact, I can say this, actually, we are slated to cast OSC Elite Rising Star number 16 day number one. Most likely we're going to be trading roles here, whether we cast a day, maybe Chicken Man cast another day, maybe Steadfast cast another day, maybe Wardy cast another day. Most likely we're going to be trading back and forth, but we at least will be beginning the first day of the next OSC Elite Rising Star. Can confirm. That's going to be next week. Will be next week. Meanwhile, we have the OSC King of the Hill Weekly number 218. This was covered by us. We, of course, had covered this. This was quite some time ago. We have a lot of weeklies to catch up on, and we had a crazy performance here by Spirit. It all began with Cham. Okay, before I get ahead of myself. It all began with a crazy performance by Cham, because Cham, he took down Max. He cheesed the hell out of him. Cham, he went for a big 3-base all-in. He caught Max with his pants down, and Cham does take the win 1-0, knocking Max out of the OSC King of the Hill. So he knocks Max out, and then Spirit, then he went on a tear. He went on a crazy win streak, took down Cham, Nickrat, Middle VK, Percival, Jumi, Gigi Machine, Moja, Baby Marine, Hatsu, Eva, Art, Hydra as well. He went on a crazy win streak here, claiming how many? 12 wins in a row. Crazy win streak here. Finally does meet its end at the hands of Cristiano. Cristiano does stop and Cristiano does take the 1-0 again. Cristiano, he even beat Spirit during the Fusion Esports League. True, during FEL, during the Fusion Esports League. So again, Cristiano has been getting better and better results. Does put an end to Spirit. And then bam! Bjorn just snuffs out that light. You know, Cristiano, he's on cloud 9 taking down Spirit, and then Bjorn puts an end to all of that, takes down Cristiano, and Bjorn ends the night as the King of the Hill. Only with one win, but was the last one standing. The last one standing here for OSC King of the Hill. So congratulations to Bjorn, and shout out to all the other competitors. Of course, Spirit does walk away with the most amount of wins, does walk away with the most amount of prize money, but likewise, Cristiano got his win, and Sham got his win as well. GG, well played. With that leads us into OSC King of the Hill weekly number 219. This was covered by Dave Testa. Dave Testa did step in. As we mentioned before, for a lot of these OSC tournaments, we typically do rotate, whether it's ourselves, Dave, Chicken Man, Steadfast, Wardy. Typically, Eddie does kind of rotate between casters to allow multiple casters to cover a lot of these tournaments. And here, Dave Testa did cover this. We did have Hatsu. Oh my god. Hatsu takes down Moche. 1-0 takes down Cavalier. That is Eddie, by the way. That is the owner of OC. So takes down Bob, takes down Eddie, but does go down to UD Soldier. UD Soldier does go on a small win streak here. Takes down Hatsu, but sorry, only gets one game. So very short-lived. Then stopped by Baby Marine, takes down UD Soldier, takes down Middle VK, and meanwhile G Machine goes on a tear himself, takes down Baby Marine, takes down Art, and then Creator puts a stop to that. But once again, short-lived. So this week there was no big win streak. We were just trading blows back and forth. Hatsu, UD Soldier, Baby Marine, G Machine, Creator, and then bam to Jumi, the latest rising star. True. The latest rising star. Jimmy takes down Creator, takes down Art, not to be confused with the other Art, by the way, takes down Nicaract, and does fall to Percival. And Percival finally goes on a win streak, taking down Jimmy, Ghost User, Geralt, and Cristiano. Big win there for Percival towards the end. Again, Percival, he has some killer PvT, so for him to take down Geralt and Cristiano, again, does showcase that prowess. Really cool to see Ghost User again. If you haven't been watching OSC Events, Ghost User, he did return to the game a couple of months ago, almost the start of the year. He started playing in OSC tournaments again, then took a break, and now he's back. So great to see him return to competitive play. Has been dipping his toes in and has been playing every now and then in some of these tournaments. Good to see him back. Good to see him back. Good to see him return. That leads us into the OC Weekly number 220. This was only a couple of days ago. Only yesterday, actually. Yesterday, last night. So we did feature another, this time, win streak. It all began with Percival. Percival took down Nicaract 1-0, took down Demi 1-0 as well. Percival, of course, he was the reigning King of the Hill from the previous week, from the previous edition. But of all players, he meets his end at the hands of Papi. Papi. Out of left field, he comes out on top. He takes out Percival. Big win there for Papi, but short-lived as he does take a loss to Seamus. And then Seamus takes a loss to Mana. And Mana, he is the one that goes on a big win streak here this time. Takes down Seamus, takes down Kanoya, takes down UD Soldier, at Sebestus, Baby Marine, Hatsu as well. 6 wins in a row there for Mana before finally going down to Cristiano. Cristiano, hey, we saw him take down Spirit previously. Here he takes down Mana, takes down Rebellion, does then fall to Jumi, again the rising star. Jumi takes on Cristiano, then he falls to Bjorn, but once again that was short-lived. This time Bjorn does not end as the champion. Out of left field with a steel chair, bam, Trigger, he comes out on top. Trigger takes on Bjorn 1-0. That was a crazy final game, by the way. For those who remember, that was last night. Bjorn went proxy racks, Trigger went proxy gate. They both proxied each other. It was a very, very intense game with both players cheesing each other. Trigger, he went proxy 2 gates, and Trigger, he did overwhelm. He did do critical damage, did cheese Bjorn out as Bjorn was trying to cheese Trigger out, and Trigger takes the win. Fun fact, also confirming, Trigger, after EWC, went back to South Korea. Trigger, he's back in Korea. This time he's on his own. Remember, previously he was with Clem and Rainer, but this time I believe he's on his own. Trigger, he's really enjoyed living in South Korea. He's really enjoyed it. So he is back there once again, which means they didn't play with any ping. No latency involved between Trigger and Clem. So with that, Trigger is going to be invited to be the next starting player for OSC King of the Hill. So Trigger, he will have that privilege of being the starting player, or at least he'll be asked to. He can accept or deny. So congratulations to Trigger for being this week's King of the Hill. And shout out to Mana for going on the biggest win streak. And shout out to the other winners as well. In Percival, Bappy, Bian, Jumi, and Cristiano. GG. GG, well played. That wraps up our OSC tournaments. That leads us into our big open cups instead. First things first, we have the Roddy Stream Rumble pre-EWC edition. Again, this was just before the Esports World Cup, just before he did go on that flight to Riyadh. So just setting up. There we go. Again, the pre-EWC edition. We did have a plethora of players here. We had mainly Protoss and a sprinkling of Zerg. We shout out to Defi for being the one Terran player. We had Mana. Mana takes on, hey, there's Sodervlad. Hey, we know him from the previous Battles Brawl. But Mana takes on Sodervlad, takes down a Jimmy 2-1, takes down Seamus 2-1, and Seamus 2-0 in the finals. Mana popping off. Esther, Mana, calm down, papi, calm down. I mean, he is the Prince of Poland. True, he's the most recent Polish champion. And here he comes out on top. This time, there was no Cristiano to stand in his way. True, no Cristiano. Instead, Seamus. And Seamus put up a good fight. Seamus even eliminating Geralt. Big win. Big win there for Shameless, but in the end, we saw that Mana did come out on top. Congratulations. Congratulations to Mana. Again, Mana, he's a really solid player. Mana, he's, top 5, sometimes even top 4 Protoss in Europe. On a good day, even top 3, which is crazy. Like, his spikes are crazy. His peaks are out of this world when it comes to Mana. So congratulations, let's take the 2-0. That leads us into the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 98. Again, this was a pre-EWC. Was it? Just before? Yeah, just before EWC. As we did get into Sparkling Tuna Cup. Here we had, oh god, did I say Sparkling Tuna Cup? My apologies. Sparkling Protoss Cup. Oh god. I remember. I mean, they're all Sparkling Protoss Cups. As Shameless, he takes down Norbash. He takes down Nickeract 2-0. Big win. Takes down Art 2-1. I don't want to gloss over this. Art also took down Cristiano. That was an upset. Cristiano, he is no stranger to the finals. He's a regular finalist here, but Cristiano, he goes down early to Art. Shameless takes down Art, and Shameless 3-0 over Jumi, the rising star himself. And I don't want to take away from Jumi, because you could argue that Jumi had the harder road to the finals. Jumi took down Young Yakov, went to the ace match. Jumi took down Creator, by the way, also went to the ace match. Jumi had a crazy run making it to the finals, but sure, he took down Creator, but Shameless knocks him the hell down. Shameless 3-0. Congratulations, Shameless was the STC 98 champion. Very strong showing there at Shameless, showcasing his PvP in the semis and in the finals. Congratulations. I'm sure Shameless was very thankful of Jumi that he took care of Creator. I'm sure he's very thankful. That leads us into the Platinum StarCraft II League June edition, which again was covered by ourselves here on the CranKy Ducklings. Here we also had a plethora of Protoss. Shout out to Nickeract and Bernie for being the only 2 Terrans and 0 Zerg, which is, again, kind of what we expect from these online tournaments. I mean, we had Young Yakov for the STC. True. We had Yakov, we had Norbash. But here we had Creator getting his revenge, in a sense. Creator takes down Rebellion 2-0. Creator takes down Nickeract 3-2. Went all the way to the ace match. This was a banger series, by the way. This was very intense. You don't often see Nickeract go toe-to-toe with Creator, but Nickeract, he put on a really good showing, put on a really good front here. In the end, did go down, but honestly, that could have gone either way. To be honest, like that was close to going the way of Nickeract. Like Nickeract had a really strong start. I was very impressed by Nickeract. In the end, Creator does claim the win. Meanwhile, Cristiano took down Lunacy. Cristiano, he 3-0'd Seamus. I mentioned before that Cristiano, we expected him in the finals of the STC, but he got knocked out by Art. Not this time though. This time he avoids Art, 3-0 Shameless, and Cristiano and Creator, they go all the way to the ace match. Intense back and forth. Creator does take the win, 3-2 over Cristiano, to become this month's, or the June edition's, Platinum StarCraft League champion. Congratulations. Also, I don't want to gloss over it. This was a fun little storyline. Shameless took down Jumi in the finals 3-0 of the STC. Here he also takes down Jumi in the quarterfinals in the best of 3. And Shameless, just time and time again, facing off against Jumi, knocking him down. GG will play. That leads us into the Big Star Cup number 41. Again, for this week, there was no WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday was skipped in this kind of period. This was the week. This was actually mid EWC, so we didn't even cast it. We didn't even cast this Big Star Cup because it was again middle of EWC. Crazy that they still run it. Unfortunately, it was only covered by Rocklets, only in Portuguese. There were no English streams for this because all the English casters were covering EWC at the time. Here we had, again, because of the EWC running at the same time, we actually had some interesting players. We had Creator, Percival, Shameless, Geralt, Special, Nickract, and many others as well. In the end, we had Creator. Creator takes down Bomiaja 2-0, takes down Percival 2-0, and Creator wins the entire thing 3-1 over Geralt. So while everyone is going at EWC, Creator, he cleans house, wins the Platinum League Championship, the monthly, and even wins this event as well. GG here to Creator. I'm sure the games were good. Unfortunately, we didn't get to cover them. Unfortunately, not many people got to cover them, but I'm sure they were amazing games nonetheless. And Creator does claim the win. That leads us into the CSO Cup number 83. Oh boy, again, this is becoming a more regular weekly tournament. And here, Go Joey. We saw him earlier in the Hyper 1 rankings. But this is a sight to see. Go Joey's, he rarely plays in tournaments anymore. And I'm sure this was at a bad time for Hong Kong. Like, this is at 1 a.m. KST. This is... Joey, what are you doing awake? But these are crazy results. 2-1 Shameless, 2-0 Ledalix, ace match against Jumi. Like, Go Joey, he is out of shape. Like, I'm pretty sure these were short games, by the way. I can't imagine he ever macroed in these games. But, really surprising results out of Joey.
This is where we learned that Gogo Joey like drank coffee too late into the night, or like an energy drink, and he just like had solid insomnia, and he had so much caffeine that he just like won all the games.
He had the zoomies, he had the zoomies, and Joey jumped all over Shameless, Lilix, and Jumi. Crazy, the Joey over Jumi. But yeah, I mean, Jumi does claim the win, but that should not have been as close as it was. I mean, this should have been a Jumi versus Shameless finals, to be honest. That would have been another rematch. Like, they've been playing a lot. This should have been Jumi and Shameless again. Not this time. Not this time. Joey popping off. Is this the return of the Joey? I hope so. Personally, I'm a big fan. We're big fans. We're big fans here of Joey. We've covered him for many years here in the Southeast Asia region, so I hope to see more of Joey in the future. This is definitely, this bodes well, especially considering how few Zerg players there are right now. For Joey to return, now is the time. Let's go.
We need to bring back the Zermuda triangle.
Yes, we need a break in case of emergency, and we have to grab the red phone and call up Miyamaika. We gotta call him up, bring him back. Miyamaika. Meanwhile, that leads us into the Platinum StarCraft League July edition. Okay. Leads us into the July edition, which I believe was casted by Erniak. I believe Erniak did cover this event, or at least I hope he did. Just double checking. But yeah, I believe he did cover this event. And once again, Creator again, during this downtime, during the off season, Creator, he pops off, takes down Ledix 2-0, takes down Shameless 3-2. There it is again. This is the third time in these tournaments. Jumi versus Shameless. Shameless takes down Jumi again. Shameless has a big win streak against Jumi, by the way. That's crazy. But Shameless 2-0's Jumi again, but he does fall to Creator. Creator does take down Nickrack 3-1 in the grand finals, does take the win. Shout to Inexorable for also competing. Shout to Nickrack for taking down Young Yakov 3-0 in the semis. In the end, Creator does take the win. Is the July champion. Back-to-back, June and July. GG. GG will play. That leads us into the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 45. This is the first WardiTV Monday back from the break, back from EWC. And we spoke earlier about how Hero was feeling a little bit a little bit regretful just because the games he wasn't able to showcase his real skill at EWC. He wasn't able to show off his builds that he was preparing, but here he pops off. Hero takes down Geralt, Hero takes down Björn, Harsum, and Max Pax in the grand finals. 3-2, went all the way to the ace match, and Hero is going to be this week's WardiTV Monday champion. He is back, he has returned. Meanwhile, I want to give a special shout out to Lemon. Lemon, the Taiwanese Protoss player, takes down Nickrak 2-1, and even takes the map off of Max Pax. I mean, Max Pax's PvP has been looking a little bit shakier in recent times, but even so, for Lemon to take a map, impressive. Very impressive stuff. So shout out to Lemon, and congratulations to Hero. As that leads us into the Roddy Stream Rumble All Random Edition, where everyone plays random. Oh boy, this is crazy. This is wild here, as I mean, it's hard to say how any of these games went, but Mixu takes on Shameless. Oh, okay, upset. Mixu takes on Shameless 2-1, Mixu takes on Maro 2-1, and Mixu takes down Nihed 2-0 in the finals. Mixu showcasing either his, yeah, I mean, you can see the finals, he played Terran. Yeah, Mixu showcasing the rest of his builds, the rest of his race play here, playing Terran, playing Zerg, playing Protoss, coming out on top. GG. GG. Very impressive performance there by Mixu. Or maybe landing on Zerg when it mattered most. It's possible. It's possible. Regardless, congratulations to Mixu, does claim the win. That leads us into the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 99. That was this previous week's Tuna Cup. That was, of course, post EWC. And here we had no Shameless versus Jumi, not this time. We had Björn. Björn takes on Rebellion 2-1. Björn takes on Jumi 2-0. Jumi did off race. Jumi, he was clowning. He was getting some breakfast. He was getting some food. He was not feeling too good against Björn. And Jumi did off race as Zerg. He clowned. Even Björn called him a clown. Technically, he called him a fool. But Björn does take down Jimmy 2-0, and Björn takes down Cristiano 3-0. And I don't want to gloss over it. Cristiano 2-0 Nickrak and 2-0 Creator. We were praising Creator for his results in the offseason, but here Cristiano, he pops off, takes down Creator. Big win here for Cristiano, but does fall at the hands of Björn. Björn does claim the win. GG, well played. Congratulations to Björn. That leads us into the Big Star Cup number 42. That was yesterday's broadcast here. We have, oh my god. Is this 4 or 5, Kuro? Look at this. Shameless versus Jumi. Again, they just keep playing, and Shameless just keeps beating Jumi.
Shameless versus Jumi is the new Honmono versus Rebellion.
I guess so, kind of. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Because Rebellion kept beating Homono. Here, Shameless keeps beating Jumi. Like, every time they faced, every time Shameless just bobs Jumi. God, oh my god. Not just that, but here there was another crazy result. Shameless, he 2-0's Jumi, like he always does. But he also 3-0'd Hero. Crazy result. Now, unfortunately, no one was casting it. Everyone was casting Björn. Everyone was casting Björn versus Percival. I mean, we were casting Migs versus Nickrak into Percival, into Björn, into the grand finals. That was where we were, and in the end, a lot of the other casters did join us. Shameless versus Hero was very short. I can tell you that. It was a 20-minute best of 3. Sorry, 20-minute best of 5. 20-minute best of 5. Really short games, and I don't know what happened in them. I do know the Hero did play Protoss. He did not off-race, and Shameless either cheesed the hell out of Hero, or Hero tried to cheese the hell out of Shameless, and Shameless survived that said cheese. Like time and time again. So regardless, big win here for Shameless. Takes down Hero 3-0. And against Björn, had a really good showing as well. Game 1 was dominant. Shameless was looking really, really strong in Game 1, and even in Game 2 as well. I would say that the early to mid game was in favor of Shameless, but he looked very shaky in the late game. Shameless, he did have a lead. He had a really strong lead against Björn on Tokamak. That was game 2 on Tokamak. He had a good lead. He was able to shut down the attempted drop play. He was able to counterattack. He denied stim. He contained his opponent. He caught a full drop. Shameless, he gained map control. He took a faster 3rd, took a faster 4th base. But it was what Shameless was doing with that map control. He was having a really hard time rotating, denying the 4th, denying the 5th base, finding any damage. He was banking up like 6k minerals and not doing anything with it. Like, Shameless was looking very shaky in the late game and looking very indecisive and a little bit lost, a little bit directionless in the late game. And That's where Beyond was able to recover and bounce back. Like, Beyond was behind. Like, again, game 2 should have been Sheamus's game, but again, Sheamus, he fumbled the ball, and Beyond, he recovered, and then Beyond, he began his comeback. His comeback on Tokamak, Torches, and on Ley Lines. GG, well played. Beyond, he did claim it in the end, did get his revenge, and did claim the win. GG. GG, well played. That leads us into the WardiTV European League 2025, a tournament that is still ongoing. It's still ongoing, has still not wrapped up, but what has wrapped up is the group stage. The groups, it's round robin, sorry, not round robin, it's the Swiss format group stage. A lot of games, a lot of matches, too much to really delve into too heavily here. But, I mean, I guess catching up with some of the highlights here, we have our top players. We had Gabe, Shameless, MaxPax, and Skillus. They all do come out in the top 4. Any big results here? Shameless took down Yang Yakov, Scarlet, Nickrat, and Björn. Yo, I spoke about the revenge. That's what I'm referring to. Shameless 2-0'd Björn in the European League, but Björn did get his revenge against Shameless in the Pegasus Cup. So they do go back and forth. They trade back and forth. Meanwhile, Gabe, undefeated, takes down everyone. MaxPax took down Baymarine and Mana, but did fall to Hearthstone. Did drop maps against Skillus and Mana. Again, as we mentioned, PvP is, I would say, MaxPax's maybe weakest matchup right now. I think I would go that far. I think PvP has become MaxPax's weakest matchup in the current meta. Has been the matchup where he's been faltering and showing the most weakness, I will say. But it does take down Skillus, Yang Yakov, Mana, and Baby Marine. Skillus takes down Mixu, Percival, Uwu, Thermal, Hearthstone, but does fall to MaxPax. And those are our top 4. Likewise, we had Mana, Art, Showtime, Björn, Yang Yakov, Nickrat, Hearthstone, and Night Phoenix joining them. I will say that there were some upsets here in the sense that Night Phoenix and Hearthstone and Nickrat, they made it through. Meanwhile, Cristiano, Jumi, Geralt did not. You know, those are some 3 big Protoss names, and even Uwu Thermal as well, but they barely did not make the cuts. Barely not. As Night Phoenix, he popped off. Damn. Barely did pop off. And that leads us into the final bracket. We have the final bracket here for the European League. Again, it's a very long format tournament for sure, but we have the upper bracket. We have our top 4 players. We have Gabe and Skillus facing off. Likewise, we have Shameless and MaxPax as well. Oh boy, I mean, that's a spicy setup here. If Shameless can 3-0 Hero, can he take down MaxPax? I think he can take maps. I mean, again, MaxPax, he was dropping maps earlier to Hearthstone. Oh, sorry, he dropped a series to Hearthstone. He dropped maps to Mana, dropped maps to Skillus. I believe that Shameless can pose a threat. I still favor MaxPax, even though I think MaxPax's PvP is in a really rough place right now. I do still favor him overall to claim that series and to I would say, even win the entire tournament. I think that MaxPax is the highest rated player here to win the entire thing, but there are certain players that can threaten him, like Shameless, like Showtime as well, like Björn. So we'll see how that goes. I still lean towards MaxPax, but Shameless, I believe, can definitely pose a threat. Meanwhile, Gabe versus Skillus, that's going to be an interesting one. I think I lean towards Gabe there. Gabe is looking very impressive. I mean, hey, he didn't drop a single series. Did drop a map, but didn't drop a single series in his tournament run here. So Gabe has been on fire, so I do lean towards Gabe against Skillus. Meanwhile, scrolling down, we have Mana versus Night Phoenix, Björn versus Yang Yakov, Showtime versus Nickrat, and Art versus Hearthstone. We have a hefty lineup of players here. It's hard to get predictions going, and it's hard to really say who's the favorite player. It's still going to be a couple of days, but I believe this tournament is going to wrap up this weekend. So, again, by the time we have the next PondCast, the tournament is going to wrap up. When it comes to the event itself, I mean, the big names, of course, Gabe, MaxPax, Skillus, Björn, Mana, Showtime as well. My prediction coming into this, it does look like it should be Björn versus Showtime in the lower bracket semifinals. I'm leaning towards those 2 players facing off. Who do I favor in that series? Oof. I know Showtime is doing really well. He's been looking really solid as of late. So is Björn, though. Like, they're both in form, is what I will say. They're both in form coming into EWC. They're both now in form post-EWC as well. But between the tournaments, it is going to be a hard one to call. From the upper brackets, I do favor MaxPax. I still lean towards him against Shameless, against Skillus, and against Gabe. I can see him dropping maps, 100%, but I do favor him overall when it comes to series. This is going to be my prediction, and we have some parameters here. If MaxPax plays against Björn in the finals, I favor Max Packs. If Max Packs plays against Showtime in the finals, I think I favor Showtime. I think I favor his PvP over Max Packs currently, just because of how they've been playing so far. So I think that's going to be my setup coming into that. If Max Packs plays against Skillus or Gabe in the finals, I think I lean towards Max Packs as well. So again, depends on who he plays against and who he faces off against, but we'll see. We'll see. Regardless, best of luck to all the players, best of luck to all the competitors in the European League. And again, they're going to be competing and they're going to be showcased over on Wardy's channel. Wardy is going to be covering all of this. And of course, covered in other languages as well, by Indy, by TKL, by Pommy, and by Sub-Zero. Oh boy. They got you covered. What about the new Clem versus Max Max? That doesn't fit because it's been one-sided. Clem versus Max Max would be more back and forth, but Shameless, I think that's in reference to Shameless and Jumi. That's been more one-sided in favor of Shameless, so I don't think it's quite as equivalent to that. But with that, hope you'll enjoy yourselves. That is us catching up with all these tournaments. And again, the European League will end this weekend, and we have the rest of our weeklies ongoing as well. Oh boy, again, that was a lot of catching up to do, and there's still other things we kind of glossed over as well. We still have the StarCraft Evolution patch that we still have to go over as well. That we'll save that for next week. We'll save that patch for next week. Likewise, we'll be keeping an eye on any reactions or any updates in regard to the proposed balance patches as well. We do want to try to get on top of that and try to bring that to your attention, because again, right now, they're taking feedback and looking to improve and iterate and hopefully refine said proposed changes, and ideally bring together an actual mod that does bring them all together as well, that we can of course look to practice on and look to showcase and look to improve. Otherwise, if you want to support us here on the CranKy Ducklings, you can do... Oh, sorry, before I get ahead of myself, sign-up list! ! Sign up list in the chat. If you want to take part in some of these tournaments, then there is a list on Wikipedia that does show off every tournament here with open sign-ups. If there are any restrictions, it is also listed there as well, whether it's MMR, whether it's region. Those restrictions are listed. Otherwise, this weekend we have KSL, we have SDO, we have Sunrise Cup, we have K-Cup USA. We have a lot of tournaments on the horizon here, so do check them out, do tune in and take part, because hey, as long as you meet those parameters, as long as you meet the requirements, open to all, as long as you meet them, of course, whether it's MMR, whether it's region, so you can take part. Otherwise, you can support us over on Patreon. We do have our Patreon as well. Our Patreon specifically is designed to fund our tournaments, specifically Sea Duckling Open, Master Swan Open, and Sparkling Tuna Cup. All three tournaments are funded via Patreon. Eventually, we'd love to help, the Patreon will help support and pay admins and casters, but for the time being, 100% of the money goes towards the players and goes towards the prize pool. So you can help support us via Patreon if you wish. Of course, as we will be running our tournaments regardless, we do run them on a regular basis, but the support does help us, as you can help us grow our tournaments and boost the prize pool. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Also, a quick announcement. This week, Sparkling Tuna Cup 100. Number 100 Tuna Cups. Crazy, Bobby, crazy. I'm not too creative when it comes to what to do for it. We will at least boost the prize pool. It will at least have a boosted prize pool. I can promise you that. So there is going to be more incentive for the big 100. Other than that, I wanted to get Yaku on, but I don't think Yaku's available. I think he's going to be traveling. Otherwise, I would love to get him on. Might try to reach out to some other casters maybe to bring them on, but yeah, it's at least gonna have a boosted prize pool for the 100th edition. Maybe I'll wear some pants. Yeah, I could do something crazy and actually wear pants for the broadcast. It'll be crazy. It'll be insane. There you go. That'll be my promise to you. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. So we're going to be wrapping things up. Our next broadcast is going to be the KSL on Saturday. We are slated to cast the Sunny Lake Cup as well in 2 hours time. I will put an asterisk on that because I'm a little bit, my throat is a little bit sore after doing the podcast, so we'll see how we feel when it comes to covering the Sunny Lake Cup or not. But our next class will at least be the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, on Saturday. 100% we'll be covering that. For Sunny Lake Cup, which is in 2 hours time, big maybe on that one. big maybe on that one. Otherwise, we also have the SDO over the weekend. We have K-Cup USA, we have STC, we have WardiTV Monday, and of course the OSC Elite Rising Star as well. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft is on the horizon. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time. If you want to support us, you can also do so by following us. !socials, socials in the chat. It's already been posted. You can follow us on all the social medias. Also, we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Every single day we upload on YouTube, so there's plenty of content there. So if you cannot watch live, then YouTube is the place to be. Just catching up. Otherwise, with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time for some more StarCraft. Whether it's in 2 hours' time or whether it's over the weekend for the KSL. Thank you for watching. We'll see you then. Also, a big shout out to Kuro. Kuro, of course, handling the production and chiming in every now and then. Big shout out to Kuro for organizing, for making sure this runs as smoothly as possible. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.